Okay, so this is an example of how to calculate the surface area and volume of a real-world object, and in this case we have a prism. So here's my real-world object. I have a true lemon box. It is a rectangular prism. So I need to get the dimensions of it first, and I'm going to get the length, the width, and the height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually measure it with a ruler. And I'm going to go, this will be my length. My length is about 7.6 centimeters, and I'm measuring in centimeters. Does not matter what unit of measure you use. I picked centimeters because I know each mark on my ruler is a tenth. So it's easier to count than fractions that are sixteenths. Okay, so I use that as my length. Now I'm going to come this direction for my width, and I get 11.8. So my width is 11.8 centimeters. And then I'm going to get my height, and my height I'm going to come down the side of the box, except my ruler doesn't start at the very end. So I'm going to flip it over. This is going to be my height, and that's going to be the distance between the two bases. I'm going to measure that, and that comes out to about 3.9. So my height is 3.9 centimeters. Okay, now that I have my dimensions, I'm going to pull out my doodle notes, and I want to calculate the surface area and volume. So for the surface area, I need 2 times the area of the base, and my base here is a rectangle, so that's going to be length times width, plus the perimeter, and the perimeter again refers to the base. So I'm going to add up all 4 of these sides. And you have that formula as well. And then I'm going to add those together and I'll get my surface area. Now, surface area is going to be the area of every single side of this box. So here's the base. This is what I measured for my length and width. There's 2 of them. There's the back. Then we have the lateral area. Those are the ones on the side. So I have this side, this side, this side, and this side. That's going to comprise the lateral area. Okay, so now that I have my dimensions, my surface area is going to be 2 times the area of my base plus my perimeter times height. And since my base is a rectangle, my area of the base is going to be length times width, so that's going to be 7.6 times 11.8. My perimeter is going to be my length and width twice, so I have 2 lengths at 7.6 plus 2 widths at 11.8. So there's my perimeter. And then my height was 3.9 centimeters. So if I use my calculator and I plug my numbers in, 2 times 7.6 times 11.8, I get 179.36. The perimeter times height represents that lateral area, all of those areas on the side, and using my calculator I get 151.32. I'm going to combine those, and I get a total surface area of 330.68, and our units matter, so it's centimeters. I measured in centimeters, and area is square units. So here is my surface area. Then I want to calculate my volume. My volume is equal to the big B, which is the area of the base, times the height. Since my base is a rectangle, my big base is going to be length times width, so that's going to be 7.6 times 11.8, and then times the height, 3.9. So I am multiplying all 3 of those together. Using my calculator, I get 349.752. And I measured in centimeters, and this time I've measured 1, 2, 3 units together. I've multiplied them, so that gives me cubic units. So my volume is 349.752 centimeters cubed. Okay, so what does that mean? So surface area. Say I wanted to use this box as a present and I wanted to wrap it. It would take 330.68 centimeters squared worth of paper to cover it. You probably need a little bit more because we overlap our sides and edges. Volume. What does that mean? Well, say I wanted to put a gift in here and I open it up. I want to know how much can I fit in here. Well, that's what the volume tells us. It tells me I can fit 349.752 cubic centimeters in here. Okay, and that's how much I can fit in there. Now for your project, this is one way you can show the work. I need the label, I need the dimensions, I need the surface area formula and the calculation with the numbers plugged in and your surface area. With volume, here's the formula, here's the numbers plugged in, and here's the volume. You will also need a picture of your object, and it does need to be a real world object. If you can't find a real world object, there are objects online that you can use as long as you can get a picture and have enough dimensions to calculate the surface area and volume. Stay tuned for the cylinder.